U lipnju 2021. neposredno nakon 9. izdanja CirkoBalkana festivala u Zagrebu, u cirkuskom šatoru okupila se ekipa mladih umjetnica iz regije kako bi na umjetničkoj rezidenciji uz pomoć mentora iz Francuske i Hrvatske radile na koprodukciji predstave Duel. Petra Bokić uhvatila je u jednoj od pauza Aleksa i Špelu iz Un Loup kompanije kako bi kroz razgovor došla do njihovih razmišljanja o suradnji s regionalnim umjetnicima, cirkuskoj umjetnosti, načinu života koji diktira bavljanje cirkusom, cirkuskoj edukaciji i specifičnom smjeru akrobatike koji razvijaju od samih početaka svoga rada. Život oko cirkuskog šatora, kao što ćete čuti na zvučnoj kulisi snimke, ne dozvoljava sterilne studijske uvjete snimanja. Dapače, nerijetko je bučan, pun smijeha, laveža pasa, raznih šumova. Nadamo se da vas to neće obeshrabriti u slušanju ovog zanimljivog razgovora, već otvoriti još pokoje čulo za doživljaj cirkuskog života.
I'm a dancer and an acrobat.
I'm Alex. I'm an acrobat. I'm a bail acrobat. I come from partner acrobatics, and I'm like kind of I'm directing artistically the French company Un Loup, and we happened to meet with CirkoBalkana a few years ago. Now we have some kind of friendship. Yeah, that's why I'm here. For sure, I think CirkoBalkana is here important because it's already kind of structured. When we met, we discovered that we were looking for artists here around, and they already have connection. Like they're already basically Croatian and Serbian, so they're already in a kind of cooperation, and they have already some kind of long history. They're already there for a while. So for me, I see them already, and that's what is happening now. A kind of a transmission of generation. They're the same age than me, basically. Milan, Bani, Jadranka, they're all the same age. We started, somehow I feel related, we started juggling in the street at the same moment. And now, I don't have the same environment. I'm French, so it's for sure I don't have the same facilities. But I think they're in the best position to build and structure the development of circus here.
Yeah, I perceive it as a motor that keeps on going, no matter what. Next year the festival is again, and they will keep on going and doing. So it's quite inspiring to see this willpower. Well, I started dance when I was very little. And it came quite natural that from partnering dance I enter into the partnering of acrobatics. It was quite a natural way of getting there, being curious where else partnering can go brought me to discover this and like it.
I didn't know anything about circus when I was a kid, honestly. I was just doing a lot of things. I was doing sport, I was doing judo, I was meant for mathematics, and then I discovered juggling when I was 14, 15, and in this moment where you're a teenager and you then have strong commitments, and I was like, I don't want to do really that job. I don't agree with this kind of job. I discovered in street shows something I liked, that you can express and speak to people, and I don't know, circus felt right for me, and I still believe today I've been lucky to fall in something which is really right for me, that being physical, dealing with partners, in art, which is a bit a side position in society, you're in, but you're also a bit on the periphery, you're not exactly in the mainstream, and then you can express, and circus keeps being something I think I can develop and express myself through. And then I did circus schools, and it's now almost 20 years I'm performing in circus. Yeah. I mean, it's still really important. Yeah, I started in the street with friends. We were building shows and begging for money, on Wednesday afternoon in the bigger town next to my parents. And then as soon as my brother was old enough to have the driving license, we stole the car of my parents and we went on festivals, juggling festivals, performing in the street. And then I started to do schools. And I learned my basics. I learned them long time ago in the street. And already at that point, it's important because I was seeing, in the street somehow you have a lot of shows that are just working on easy jokes and what I call vulgar. And already then you're like not agreeing with that. It's like, no, it's possible. You can even make money in the street by being poetic. You don't have to be using just these stupid jokes because it's loud and joking. So already then we were already a bit. We had some opinion on aesthetics, I would say, even in the street. There is something more, there is also something you don't see yet, and if you just give to audience just what they want to see, okay, they will eat what you feed them. But you can also surprise, and then you get feedbacks that are really interesting. I used to say that I do this job because once I was performing in the street in Strasbourg with a lot of friends, and after a show, we were really amateurs still, just good jugglers, not amateurs in performing. And some guy came telling us he was really sick, and basically he would die soon, and he already gave up. But after seeing what we were doing, he was kind of willing to live again. I was like, wow, I'm just juggling and doing some, I don't know what composition and relational things on stage, and maybe this guy will change his life. And I'm like, okay, this is important. This is something, okay, I agree with this job. This is something.
I'm pretty much on the path that I designed for myself. Still, for the moment, yeah. I imagine, even though it has been changing, of course, and adapting, I've been, always projecting to be on stage and put my foot on the table through the expression of my body. So for me, in this sense, I succeeded, that my dream became my reality, and with this I can live, which is not so obvious as it might sound. And then the whole lifestyle around it, it's not just what we do, it's also how we live. And it's very much, I love to be nomad, I love to be on the road and share with the people, or through creations like here, or through workshops, or through the performances that we perform. I see it quite bigger and richer. It's performing is just a part of this world, the circus world. It's very much about the life, the community, how we think, with whom you connect, which is the group of people, which is the community you build. I feel I live in a bubble. I do live in a bubble. Even the grandma the other day told me, it's just because you live in a bubble. It's okay, stay there. But it's since I'm little, I create my own world. No, tired I'm not for the moment. I never felt that. Sometimes I'm worried. that for sure. Because it's not evidently easy, but the loving and the liking, it's still stronger than the problems or the worries that come on the way. So, and all the last year that kept us more static made me realize and desire the nomad life even more.
It's a huge mess, and we solve it on the road. It's complex, you know. I mean, yeah, educating kids, having an equal relation with your partner in life, also in being a parent together of kids, being. I mean, I have some kind of place I call home, which I didn't always have. I'm really a lot on the road, but I'm there like 12, 14 weeks a year. And I succeed to take the kids quite a lot with me. 2 years ago, they were sleeping in the tent here, freezing outside.
I remember,
and, you know. It's a sport. It's a sport. It's not easy for sure, but we learn. I mean, but I chose to not sit on my ass. So I still kind of support not uncomfort. You know, I don't like comfort that much. I don't think you learn a lot from comfort. I'm not looking no more for too much of uncomfort, but a little bit. You know, that's still challenging. You have to arrange and you find ways, you know. Sometimes I feel they become more and more narrow. That my possibilities, now the kids are growing, education, schooling, timing, schedule. I mean, it's not easy, but I find my way. I mean, I just bought a bigger caravan. I'm fixing a bigger bus. It works, it's quite balanced. We had a lot of trouble in the, familial cell. It's not easy. I mean, my girlfriend is also kind of a nomadic also, but sometimes on other festivals than me. But we do succeed to give a lot of attention to the kids also. And then, we're a bit stranger. I mean, somehow, I agree with what you said, Špela. We're also strangers in society. We have a specific life. But I think others have a strange life. I think sedentary is strange. You know, that you put your ass somewhere and you don't move anymore. I'm not sure I find it so normal. I really like meeting others, encounters, crossing borders. I mean, I have a lot to learn. I still want to learn. I mean, I'm not Alex. I'm becoming Alex every day a bit more. And I'm only becoming myself because I meet others and challenges and problems and I have to solve. And sometimes I give up. I learned a lot to give up. It's also part of choices. Sometimes it's not possible. You have to learn to give up on time and not too late sometimes. I learned a lot, and then all what I created also related to this part that we meet questions on the way. And educations of kids and touring life. And being a father that equally takes care of the kids with your wife. It's a lot of things to balance together. Adaptation is a word we worked a lot on recently. It's challenges, it's movement. I see that as comfort is for me sitting. It's funny that I don't like this word sitting that much, means you don't move anymore. I like walking. I don't go fast. I'm not a runner at all. I'm pretty slow. I mean, I've been called a turtle this week. And it's true, I take my home with me. I go a bit slow. Sometimes I'm in danger. But I stand for a bit of risk. Circus is also always dealing with this question of risk, literally, but then also in lives, And I used to say I'm not satisfied, I'm never satisfied, I want more, and therefore I will keep searching. I'm trying to learn to be also sometimes a bit more satisfied of what I already have, because if not, you're also never happy, and it's never good, and then it's not that. I'm researching a strange balance, but in this balance there is movement. sometimes mistake, but at least there is movement. And if there is nothing triggering you anymore, I will stop moving at some point. I also think, I don't know, it's a complex question, it's life questions. But for the moment, a small dose of uncomfort, like, it's movement, it's life. If it doesn't move anymore, it's dead, As long as my heart is beating, there is movement.
Even when you sit, like in the car,
you're also alive if you stand still on a chair, and this I agree, I agree that you can learn the world from looking at the same tree all the time. But I'm not yet able. Now, do not take it too philosophically. Circus is now, for me, it's also simply a tool of expression. It's a media. It's an art. It's an art dealing with reality. Strong questions in circus dealing with your own body being actually really doing something. And what I like in circus is it's quite young art. So it's still a lot of potential. We didn't explore it all at all. I'm sure there is still a lot of things to be discovered and expressed with this. It's kind of a specific tool. It's not exactly theater. It's also theater. It's not exactly dance neither. We don't know yet. It doesn't have a long history. Not in the contemporary way. Theater is there for centuries. Circus is still young. And I would say circus is reality in your face. Are you able to live that? No more. Are you in pain? Yes. Are you too old for that? Not yet. It's quite, it's facing you. I can a lot. But then it's basically an art, and it's not an end. That's why I said it's a tool. It's a way. It's not, I don't believe in the circus technique being it. It's not a technique. Technique is just a tool. Circus is the art. It's really important to me. It's not sport. It's a specific way to deal with, physical forces, relational. Is it me? Is it together? Is it opponent? Are we together? Are we not together? It's an art of action. That's what I say mostly. Circus is an art of action. It's not an art of representation. Even though it is part of, it's also simply a small area, a specific area of physical theater, and then in fact of theater itself. It's just tools, physical tools and challenges. But I do think it's more complex. It's still a lot more complex than what I think it is. You have the first layer, and then you dig a bit in it, and you discover that it's not just throwing a lot of balls in the air. It's not exactly that. It's trying. It has to deal with. There's some key words, if you know, like risk, fail, gravity. It's all the same. It's standing. It's like being. Circus. It's not love. It's future, maybe. It's really present. This I believe, and that we're presenting now something which is frontal, which I don't totally agree. It took me time, but I think circus is not frontal. It's not representation. I'm not showing you what I'm doing. Actually, I am doing it, and you're looking at me. It's not theater. Yes, it's theater. Theater should be doing. It's a fake idea that theater is not doing, but it's doing. It's committing to something. It's trying. It's learning to fail, and sometimes you do succeed because you tried. So if you don't try, you will never know if you can succeed or not. And it's also a way of living. I agree that it goes beyond the stage. It's also then a way to live to go through your life, to deal with problems with community. There's a way of living which is circus. I like dance. It's also artistic. It's also political. You don't have to live in a steady house. You can also live in a caravan. In fact, you can build a theater and unbuild it the next day and go away. It's reminding that you don't have to only walk on your feet. If you want to, in fact, you can also walk on your hands. So it's a really good reminder. It's opening doors and windows that, we take for granted that we stand on your feet. Not true. Circus is there to put things upside down. Ego is something that, I don't know, in your question, ego is towards others. Honestly, circus is mostly facing yourself. It's mostly, am I able to stand for that? It's not so much, basically. Sometimes it turns to be proving to others that you're able, but basically, it's most of the time it's facing yourself.
I think on the daily basis, it is facing yourself. On the daily basis.
But then, as a creator, as an author, as a performer, there is a bit of ego, You like it when audience like you. Don't be stupid, it's true. And then you also have to deal with that. At some point you're like, shit, in fact I have a big ego. Some should say shit. Some should realize that they have a big ego. It happens also. There is still a lot of solidarity, it's still true. I do think that the small circus community, which is a lot smaller than dance or theater, still has some links. I'm afraid that, always the market and the fact that you have to sell your show, and then there is not so many places if you want to live out of it and make your life. It's also bringing competition and then ego and then art and arty. In fact, there is more ego in art than in circus. But since I defend circus as art has a lot of ego. And this is something I discovered with the time, and I have to say I'm really disappointed of that. Sometimes I think of quitting because of that, because of the world of art. I was choosing to be an artist for some reason, a bit transgressive, a bit politically non-correct, and then at some point you discover that it's a market like another one. You're selling products. And if you want to sell it to the theater, you have to be either a better product or cheaper product or please more people. And then there's some that are bankable, and then people like them because they're bankable. They don't. Critics is rare. Good critics on art. And then you fall in what is art, and then you are busy with nights as an artist. What is art? And here it comes again. What is art? What is postmodern? What is contemporary? Why are they naked? Why are they speaking in the mic? Is that trend? Is that fashion? Is that good? Do I do that because it's the trend and I know that if I don't do it, these people will not like me? It's so scaled, there's so much hierarchy and things in that sometimes the best is to you should be able to erase it all and just do your thing. And this is becoming harder with time, because the more you're in the field, the more you know about the rest of the field. And that knowledge is not helping. It's not. If you're virgin and alone on your island, you do something, you do just your thing. But when you're taken in this network that that I'm also, I'm the artist, I'm the director, I'm the author of the piece, I'm also doing a bit of production, I'm also doing a bit of blah, 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 blah to the productors, blah, blah, blah. And then sometimes you lose yourself. And you don't know what you stand for, what you seduce, if you really believe or not in what you say, because I'm really able to say what they want to listen to, which is really useful for production. But sometimes I don't know anymore where I am.
So we're here because some time ago we decided to hit the road and come to Balkans, and we started to discover what is here, who is working here, and we very fast met CirkoBalkana, and we created a partnership, friendship, and in the 19 we did a project together, which leads into the continuation of this collaboration, which basically is to support and help development of contemporary circus here in Balkan, and that's what we are doing now also with the new generation. In a way, we take the role to transmit the methodology that we are using, or that we created, to share with them, and to just share with them the tools, the ways to create, to be on stage, what we believe in or what we think for us is. So we try to transmit that, give what we can, and lead them to show, so that together we create.
So you were working, this is your second residency, you were working in Belgrade, and then here with
and
4
we
people.
return back to Belgrade.
And then in Belgrade you will have you are coming
We
with
have
the
two
show.
more residencies, and then in September there is a premiere at CirkoBalkana Festival under the tent, in the tent. I think any creation meets its obstacles, its problems. At the same time, any creation creates a love and good collaboration among the people. So comparing, it's tough to compare, because different circumstances gives a different possibilities. So it's impossible to compare French creation with Balkan creation, or Balkan circus artist with a French circus artist. So it's not to compare, but for sure, like, not having institutionalized field, it's more difficult, because you don't have such a financial support, which means you don't have so much time, because you have to do so many other things in order to live, like to pay your life, and then this takes away the time that you can actually practice, or that you can go somewhere else to take the workshops, to learn. It's the whole circumstances that creates really difficulties. So yes, of course there is a difference. I mean, we would be lying, or we would be blind if we say there isn't. If somebody goes to train at school and doesn't think of anything else than 4 or 5 years just dedicating him herself in that, I mean, it's what I did. I went to study dance. I was just there from 8 o'clock in the morning till 10 in the night. Who was able to do that among the 5 artists that we worked till now? I don't think any of them went through such an education. So for sure the skills, the knowledge, the awareness that I've got, it kind of gave me a good backpack to go on and create and be an artist. I don't think that it's the only way. It's at all not my point. A lot of great creators did not go through the education, so don't get me wrong in this sense. But for sure, it is a big help to have a good environment that you can just dedicate your time to what you want to do and discover what you like, what you dislike, where do you want to go. And if you don't have that time, it's difficult. You struggle more. So it's difficult for them. But on the other hand, this creates quite a will, the wish. They we have to like really then fight for it. And somehow what we are also now discovering in the rehearsal is like, okay, let's go over the politeness. Let's find this eager, this rage of wanting to do something also. Let's find it, and it's not necessary we have to do it like this on stage, but this fire that they have inside could be visible also in a very minimalistic way, but also maybe we just want to use it. But for sure in each of them I see that, all the people we work with, which has its own way to express it, but they have it.
And the problem happened, I mean, it's funny that the history is like, I mean, we were two. Originally we were Fred and me, Fred and Alex, we were a duo hand to hand. And we have a kind of similar story because I was French, he was from Quebec, from Montreal. And he was a flyer with a bass, and I was a bass with a flyer. I lost my flyer, he lost his bass. So we were two half duos, which I think it's still true somehow till now, 15 years after, that we're all half people. We're all people in need of someone else. And yeah, I mean, we've been, I don't know what, lucky enough or smart enough, or I don't know how to say, to make a first show that have been really successful. And then, I don't know, then the second one, and then Un Loup, I would say, started to exist after the second performance. Then we were not just a duo, but we were starting to have different creations. Yeah, I don't know, we had our own visions. We had a strange vision of our own discipline of partner acrobatics and hand-to-hand, especially due to the fact that we were really not meant to be together. We were totally opposite. I mean, for a lot of reasons, from cultural reasons, European, American, thinker, mover, bass, flyer, slow, fast. Apparently everything was like different, but then we were kind of complete. And this need of always communicating, always dealing with someone else, which is not you, opened a lot of possibilities in the physical way of moving, the way of composing. But we had also some common feelings for consideration for others. Also in the way that we transmit, in the way that we give workshops to a lot of different people, and not only specialists, but also, I mean, I work with grandmas, we've been working with crazy people with disease in the mind, with women in trouble, with people in jail, with kids, with old. And we always had this desire to explore the relation, really something relational. We from the first moment established, partner acrobatics hand to hand. It's not a technique. It's a relation. It's a way to relate to others. And then we applied that a bit in all the fields. We created a few things. We've been touring a lot. Things really physical. We lost a bit of in games what they would call life points. We were still both of us a bit like, maybe we did a bit too much. Oh, yeah, I have a bit of pen here. I have a bit of pen here. But yeah, we've been interested in other. We like traveling, we like meeting, we like transmitting. Fred is now not here anymore. I'm unluckily the only one left from the beginning of this story of Un Loup. And then other people came, I don't know. And yes, I don't know. I think Milan contacted us to come to the festival years ago, when we were really at the beginning, and we had no time at that moment. We were busy, or maybe he had not enough money to hire us, probably. We didn't come, and then instead, in a part of my mind, I don't know why, I like this part of Europe, also as a personal attraction. And yeah, we decided to come. There's been this Ride camp we did 2 years ago, is basically, and then Špela happened to be in the company, which gave us an extra support, an extra reason, someone speaking the local language, someone busy with the idea of ex-Yugoslavia and things. And then with the three of us in the company, we built this huge adventure that brought us actually really here 2 years ago to meet all of that, to try to connect, to push. Why? You're asking why? Because for me, why? Because I support circus. And because, in fact, circus in France is a little bit trapped into institutional and trend and fashion. And here, there is kind of an unexplored island. And this I find interesting. It's risky, but here there is no history of contemporary circus. There is basically, you just have to invent it all yourself. And it's a chance for here, but it's mostly a chance for circus to be revitalized from something that could happen here. And this is what I find interesting, and I'm part of not applying recipes, but basically, tools, you said, throw a bit of ingredients, I know, but see how people here will, I don't know, there is something here, there is a culture, there is a history, there is pain, there is violence around, there is a strange background, which, I don't know, I have a hope that it will take a bit of time, I'm not stupid, but there could be here something specific. I mean, I don't know, at some point 10, 15 years ago, Scandinavia jumped in, Finland, Sweden, and they brought a different way of being on stage, different humor, different way of dealing with danger. I think there is here something that could happen like that. Not copying, but just understanding, and then, okay, I was mega happy today the discussion is in your language. I found it super important. Someone asked me, and I'm like, no, it has to be here in this language, that contemporary circus is discussed in these words that cannot always be translated, but therefore will be specific. You know, I heard analyses, critics, opinions on contemporary circus here in Zagreb in this language. I think it's important. Do not apply my French word or English words, basically French, because it's quite often French. Oh yeah, it's like, it's really that. I see it a bit unexplored, and I like that. And I do that. I basically not do that for you here, I do that for circus. I don't know, take over. That's why I agree with circus is the future. I think I like believing that the future of circus is here.
Dream too far future. I'm much more here today and maybe a year or two ahead. I don't think so much about that, so I cannot answer for 10 years now. But on the very concrete, in the next days, months, year, it's that we are, like Alex is leading a new show, the Room, and we are at the beginning of the process, and we will take a long time because in France that's the way they do it.
And there is enough money that you can do it,
it's in the periods of time, but it's stretched through mostly because of the production reasons. And then the premiere is in autumn 22. And beside that, we also have other projects which are more social orientated, what Alex was already saying.
Also with Un Loup, so you are totally with them.
At the moment it's my only occupation, let's say.
So great, you have a focus, great.
I have a focus, It's a bit the consequence of a previous year also, but at the same time, it might have happened like this anyhow. So I dedicate my time for that. And then inside of this frame also build a project with inside of the team we have projects now. I work with another person, one project now that will happen in 22. So I go year by year because I don't know what's going to happen in next year. I mean, I do like to plan. I am very much controlling, organizing, but not too much ahead.
That's good, but Corona teaches that. Yeah.
Which is not easy neither nowadays. But I mean, it starts with kind of ideas. It's in somewhere in my brain, but it's fragments. First, it's a lot of things that doesn't go well together. I don't know exactly why I think that, and then I also think that. But I have some kind of new questions because I'm not satisfied with time with what I already did. Like I don't agree. Basically, 10 years ago I was like saying circus is fighting against adversity. No, it's not fighting, it's adapting. In fact, we forgot something. It's not true anymore. It's like hypothesis in science, you know. You work on a hypothesis and then your knowledge grows a bit and then you discover that what you proposed is not enough or is not good anymore. Then you come with a different variation on the question linked with age, linked with your own path in becoming a human. And then I test things. I really don't have ideas clear at the beginning. I'm really impressed. Some artists, they enter in creation only when they have the plan and the drawings of everything, and then they build it. I'm not so much a builder. I have always the feeling that I have an intuition that we should dig in the ground somewhere there because there will be something interesting. And then sometimes we dig.
How do you
and
propose?
there is nothing. I choose a team. At some point I have to choose a team. Considering what are the performing skills, what is the desire of way of living, and I may do mistakes or not. I gather people. I invite people to speak with me also because I usually need someone to ask questions to me. Usually it's Bauke till now, but now I don't know who I will use for that. And I'm busy with new questions, then I read a bit around and I propose a bit of inspiration. We look at a few books usually. I don't know, and then there's always a bit of a physical, first because I gather new people, there's always a bit of sharing a language a bit first. And then I don't know, experiment, try, error, try, fail, need that, not that, these are something, I was not expecting that on the way, but in fact this is also interesting. And then the shitty moment is when out of all these fragments, you have to put all together in something that is basically only one, and finished and achieved, which is one performance. I'm working a lot on that for the moment. Basically, I was better to open. I doubt a lot. I'm someone who doubts always, so I have always a need to study 75 variations on the same question, and then I have 75. But there is place only for one, and this is not my talent. Choosing is not my talent. A bit easier when I'm only outside, strangely. Now, like on the performance here, I'm only outside of the stage. I'm also slowly sliding out of the stage and directing a bit more with time, which I find more and more interesting. It's not at all the same point of view. Even though I think it's quite specific to circus, that it's quite often written from inside. Because performer is the only one who knows if it's possible to put your arm and your shoulder in this position. And then I don't know, and then I'm in shit, and then all my team is doubting, and I'm in the desert, and they're all like, Alex, are we really going there? And they're like,
Is that true?
I don't know, I'm not so sure, in fact. And then sometimes I collapse, and I ripped, you know, that in Rebels, my notebooks, I ripped it into pieces in the evening of catastrophic disaster. I don't know where we are, I'm lost. I feel like Christophe Columbus. I took a team to this direction and they're all angry and there's no more food on the boat and we're in the middle ocean and we still don't see we don't see nothing anymore. And for sure there is not enough food to come back home, so the only way is just let's hope there is something there. This is really, I sometimes really feel like that, and then that's when comes the temptation to hold back to what you already know. And now it's even worse because I know too much about production and the need to sell the show. I mean, company is becoming also business and enterprise that needs to survive financially. And this is not good for art. This economical reality is not good for art. Maybe I should kill unemployment to go back to art or something, or make it something and then start again and do the shit again.
And maybe have a person to deal with the production, and you can only do the art. I think that's good.
You know, because then you hire someone for production.
Oh yeah, that's good.
But it's an extra salary.
Oh, so what? So you
But
can
then you
can
need
be
to sell your
free.
show.
But
And
then
that pressure comes. Do you choose for art? Or do you think, this is a bit too abstract? I already know that if I do that in my circus tent, then I have a problem of expectation of the programmers for circus tents, and then I may have difficulties to tour and then to pay these people. Because I'm really loyal in that also. If I hire someone, I feel responsible for the salary of this person.
of course, but you can always tell him your rules, your needs, and maybe stay with your art. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't find it easier with time. I was having a lot easier time, you know. Sometimes you're like, you're a teenager. You just don't care.
You're a teenager.
Your father is feeding you, and then you can do whatever you want. And then later you're a bit responsible. You have kids. You need to, and then there is a bit more struggle, I think. Even though it's compensated by experience of, a bit more also how to compose things, and you can always, you also gain with time.
Yeah, I think it was a good answer. And you, Špela, how do you feel in the process? So you're on the side of the artist of
How do I
with
feel
your mind,
in
with
this,
your
in this process?
yeah, with your mind, with your questions, answers, body, heart in his process. How do you feel it?
Oh my god, what kind of questions you're asking? Okay. How do I feel in your process? Like the very beginning of when we started, the previous show, it was very interesting because we were learning from each other. We each was devoting. Each took its time to share with the whole team their own interests or discoveries. So we were sharing a lot at the very beginning, and then it was quite a long period of just working on tools on the language, let's say, and then when it was the moment of choosing, it was a bit a tough moment. The moment that he was tearing apart, and I think we all. For example, one thing that was very, very present in the previous creation was for all of us, for all the team, to be okay to fail. We had some presentations that we didn't feel at all good, or we didn't feel at all ready to do, but we did them anyway. We felt like failing, and it's really shifted my mind a lot on what to do in art. So it's, as he was saying, it's not just I show you what I can, but I also show you what I'm just trying to do. So that was a good learner, like a good teacher. In general, what I appreciate is that there is a lot of. It's not a hierarchy. It's not horizontal. It's somehow all the time floating in between these, and this is what triggers me. Actually, there are some people that they complain and they don't like it, and I find it. I can deal with it quite well, or I find myself okay in this position of we are a bit equal, but actually no, you are a bit my boss, but then we are again equal. I'm fine with that role, while some people might have troubles. And I think also through the time that we are, working, and each year that passes, we are understanding more also the roles, and they're changing. Depends also on the project that we did. We were equal, and that was also great to experience that actually we were three, and we were three deciding, and then makes it a clarity that now and then in the next production, it's him deciding. So then I can advise, I can do, but my position is this. So it's also good that it's changing, that it's not a static position always of I'm your boss and you're my employee. So it's very complex relation, I think. But we are getting to know each other better, and it's
Slušali ste razgovor sa Alexandreom Frejem i Špelom Vodeb, cirkuskim umjetnicima poznate francuske kompanije Un Loup, koji su se vratili u Zagreb kako bi u ulozi mentora radili na kreaciji nove koprodukcije regionalnih umjetnika pod naslovom Duel. Razgovor vodila Petra Bokić, tonski obradio i uredio Ratko Bokić. Uvod i odjavu pročitala Jadranka Žinić-Mijatović. Kulturan radio, CirkoRama.